So look into segment 12, accounts and records. What are the various accounts and records to be maintained by a registered person? As per section 35, only two sections are there. Section 35, what are the accounts and records to be maintained? 36, what is the period for which accounts and records to be maintained? So remember I formats, I for inward supplies, F for foreign trade, import and export, and then O for outward supplies, R RCM supplies. Out of that inward supplies, what are all covered under RCM should be separated, because on that we need to pay GST under RCM, that's why. And then, so I for mats, M for manufacturer production related, A for advances received, adjusted and paid, and then T for tax details, S for stock details. These are the various records to be maintained by a registered person, but don't write I formats. You write by explaining this, okay, all records pertaining to inward supply, all records pertaining to outward supplies, like that. And a person opting for composition scheme is not required to maintain the last two, that is TS. So it is only I pharma. So T and S, tax details and stock of goods, is not required for a person opting for composition scheme. And where this record should be maintained? These records should be maintained in principal place of business pertaining to all the place of business. We need to maintain in principal place of business, and records pertaining to additional place of business we need to maintain in additional place of business. For example, I have three place of business: Chennai, Coimbatore and Pondicherry. Okay, so sorry, Chennai, Coimbatore and Madurai, because Pondicherry means UTGST, that's a separate registration. So Chennai, Coimbatore and Madurai, so three places I have. Now in Chennai I have to maintain the books of accounts and records of all three places, and in Madurai I have to maintain books of accounts related to Madurai, and in Coimbatore I have to maintain books of accounts related to Coimbatore. You understood or not? So as per section 35, the above records to be maintained by every registered person in principal place of business, and records pertaining to additional place of business in each additional place of business. And as per section 36, for what period we need to maintain the accounts and records? We need to maintain the accounts and records for a period of 72 months from the due date of filing annual return. And so 6 years, you need to remember it as 6 years. Suppose if for a particular financial year you went on an appeal, then in that case 6 years from the due date of filing annual return, or 1 year from the date of disposal of appeal, whichever is later, not whichever is earlier, whichever is later. 6 years from the due date of furnishing annual return, or 1 year from the outcome of the appeal, whichever is later. And also every transporter and warehouse keeper, even though their aggregate turnover does not exceed threshold limit, but they need to definitely get a unique enrollment number. So means they need to give their details and maintain necessary records, and they need to obtain the unique enrollment number. So these are the points that we have in accounts and records. Then from this segment 13 onwards we can see in tomorrow's session. Okay.